Welcome to Canada, where we don't care about who you marry as long as you love hockey. Hockey has always been deeply intertwined with Canadian identity. As Canadians, we proudly claim that we own the game. Canadian mythology invokes hockey. The game unites us. But does it really? Is hockey our national sport, or is it simply a white sport? To answer this question, we need to understand the history of hockey rarely told. Indeed, very few have ever heard of the Africville Seasides or the Halifax Eurekas. Original teams that formed one of Canada's first organized hockey leagues, the Coloured Hockey League, which predated the NHL by over 2 decades. After 40 years, Willie O'Ree's courage, perseverance, and dedication to the sport allowed him to break the NHL color barrier in 1958. His fearlessness inspires us to pursue whatever fills our hearts, regardless of societal conceptions that try to define us. His persistence challenges black youth to dare to break the ice in areas that have not been conquered. From the moment he stepped onto the ice, he changed the notion of hockey as a white sport, and his career paved the way for the next generation of black hockey players. It is still important to acknowledge the ongoing racism that black hockey players face, as well as the systematic racism that still affects the growth of hockey among youth. It's no doubt that hockey is an expensive sport. For an intermediate player, the cost to purchase all gear and pay tuition is generally between $6,000 to $7,000. Akeem Aliu, a former NHLer, stated that I couldn't afford the high-end $1,000 skates for a few years and people would make fun of me about them. Statistics also prove their disadvantages, showing that even among third-generation black Canadians, blacks make an average income $16,000 less than non-minority Canadians. This means that black youth are more likely to pursue other sports such as basketball or football, which are less expensive. Furthermore, hockey is still having a hard time of accepting minorities, as Anthony Duclair recalls he was first called the N-word at a hockey tournament aged 10. Devontae Smith-Pelly can attest to this as fans in Chicago yelled racial slurs to him in an NHL game in 2018. Despite these challenges faced, the NHL has never been in such a hopeful situation for black players, as the sacrifices made by O'Ree paved the way for black Hall of Famers like Grant Fuhr and Jerome McGinley. Their successes inspired greats like Anthony Duclair, Seth Jones, and Darnell Nurse, among others. Black NHL talent will only continue to rise with the emergence of players like Quinton Byfield, the highest ever black player drafted in the NHL at second overall. Others such as Andre Miller, Matthew Joseph, and Malcolm Subban are expected to play a major role for their teams. For Donovan Tate, the son of Jamaican immigrants, hockey is religion and the rink is church because it is what everyone did, and it gave a sense of community as it helped his family integrate into Canadian culture. He also emphasized that hockey created so many opportunities for himself and his kids. Hockey is beginning to pride itself in being more open to everyone, and Tate is an example of someone who has seen the barrier but still managed a way to make hockey a part of his life. To conclude, even though the game still needs to become more accessible to minorities and needs to be more willing to change, hockey unites us. Despite differences, we are all Canadians, and as many coaches have said, play for the crest on your chest, not for the name on the back of it.